Hey everyone, Arashi here, and I'm about to start part 2 of Can Our Sequel Characters Be Redeemed? And we're going to start off with Finn, who I honestly think had the highest potential out of all the characters in the sequel trilogy. So if you're coming from part 1, you know in part 1 I covered the more business side of Disney, the more grounded in reality. But this time I'm going to be covering the lore about Finn and just where I think his character should have gone and where I think he can be redeemed later on. I guess I'll just start with a brief explanation of what he did become in the sequels.
They got Chewie! They got him! Ray, come on! Ray! We gotta go! Ray, come on!
Yes, that is 100% true and 100% factual. That's all Finn's character turned into, was a guy just shouting Rey the entire time. When he had such a good potential setup, he was alluded to be the next Jedi and all that good stuff. But he eventually just turned into a screaming, babbling idiot, just screaming out Rey the entire time. And that's something that John Boyega himself, the actor who plays Finn, even came out and said that that's essentially what his character turned into. They diluted his character so much, to the point the actor himself didn't even like playing the character anymore. But anyway, I would like to get into an exposition explaining to how I would have had it going, because I just showed what Disney essentially had going for him, where he just turned into a babbling idiot screaming Rey. I would have kept Finn as a former stormtrooper though. That would have been an amazing plot point, honestly, that Disney completely whiffed on. A former stormtrooper turned Jedi after realizing what kind of atrocities he's committing and really starting to feel through the Force that he's doing something wrong. And at this exact moment would be where you can realize that Finn is a Jedi, because Ben feels it, or Kylo Ren feels it at this moment. He's able to look over and stare at the stormtrooper like, what the heck's going on? At that moment, for my version of Finn, that would have been the defining moment to prove that he is Force sensitive and that he's a Jedi. For me, at least. Now, in terms of Rey, I would have also had her be another Jedi at the same time. In terms of Finn, I would have him be the more compassionate Jedi, the more understanding Jedi, the one with more wisdom, honestly. And honestly, at the same time, I would still keep Rey as another Jedi that's within a galaxy at the same time. It would have been awesome to see two Jedi on a screen again, honestly. At that point, I think it would have been really cool to see just two Jedis learning off of each other again. And that'd be one of the first times in a long time since, I believe, post-Clone Wars era that we actually see two Jedis on screen. But in terms of the kind of Jedi I would have Finn be, I'd have him be the more compassionate one, the one that's more wisdom-filled, the one who's more trusting in the Force. I would keep Rey in there more as a headstrong, combative type of Jedi who's always questioning the Force, and that would lead to a path of darkness for her. Now, would I have her go full-blown down a dark side path? Who knows? I'd have probably explained that in my next video. At this point, I honestly would still keep Rey as having the higher midichlorian count and the highest potential out of the two Jedi, honestly, on screen. I think it would have been a great dynamic to have Finn be the guy who's just more wisdom-filled and have Rey be the more headstrong Jedi who's falling down a path of darkness. And it would make sense for Rey to go down the path of darkness, at least for a little while, just because she is a Palpatine. I would have Finn be more of the Obi-Wan type. Low midichlorian count, but puts in enough work and is able to hang with everybody at the top. I think it would fit Finn's personality more to just have more of a Form 3 combat form, and to have more of a defensive combat just in general, and just be able to use Force mainly for defense. I would have Finn grow into a Obi-Wan type of Jedi, except for with putting faith into the Council, he puts his faith into the Force, kind of like how Qui-Gon Jinn was. But he wouldn't start out like that. He wouldn't come at like that default. He would have the traits of it, but he wouldn't really hone it until I'd say around the 9th movie. Now, as we know, Disney does have another 3 movies slated, and Rey's gonna be in it as well. So it's a whole new trilogy based on Rey. I would have Finn be there as a mature Jedi Master now, finally fully understanding of who he is in the Force and what his purpose is in the galaxy. And within these 3 next movies, I would have Finn be establishing, along with Rey, a new Jedi Order. And after learning the reason why the Clone Wars era Jedi Order fell, that I feel like they would go through and just restructure themselves from the ground up. This new Jedi Order would be more akin to Luke's Jedi Order from Legends, where the Jedi are essentially allowed to have attachments and learn that these things aren't necessarily bad and won't bring you down as a Jedi. That, in fact, that these things actually help you strengthen your power and trust in the Force even more. And along with Rey, there would be Anakin and Luke as Force ghosts helping him along the way. Luke and Anakin will be essentially there just to help shape the new ideals and ethics of this Jedi Order with Rey and Finn. And of course, I mean, this would make the Jedi super overpowered at this point, but I'll get to that later on in another video on how things would actually not be just as overpowered as we think it truly would be. Just as there always is, where there's light, there's always some shadows. But along with Rey, I think that Jedi Master Finn and Jedi Master Rey would be able to take on anything in the galaxy. And they'll be more prepared. With this Jedi Order, obviously, I think they would keep their hands off the political side of the galaxy. They wouldn't have anything to do with the New Republic, kind of detaching themselves from them a little bit. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and hopefully you guys agree with me at some points. Feel free to interact and leave your opinions and comments in the comment section below. Now, Finn's story for me is a little bit fragmented right now just because I'm still working on Rey's and Kylo Ren's and a few more characters down the line for how those characters can be redeemed as well. And eventually they will all come together in one longer video. But as for now, let me know in the comment section below how you guys would change Finn. Once again, thank you for clicking on this video. I really appreciate you guys watching it and sticking with me all the way through to the end. And may the Force be with you and have a great rest of your day. Later.